Network, live, exclusive coverage of high school activities here in Kern County. Tonight, the activity is varsity football. The location, the iconic, legendary, one-of-a-kind Griffith Field. This is a school so big and so powerful and so famous that they named an entire city after it. At least that's the slogan they like to use. And since I'm joined by my longtime partner, BHS alum and now soon-to-be inducted class of 2024 Bakersfield College Renegades, Kenny Calvin. It's great to have you with us, Kenny. Kenny now going to walk into that very rarefied air of Hall of Famers. Our director, Julian Wilson, is here. The BHS Drillers welcoming in the Garza football squad from Fresno. BHS will kick off. More storylines here than we probably can fit in all night long. We'll go over all of the schools playing in the district last night, tonight, and tomorrow. We'll encapsulate this last month of freneticism that's gone on, from summer practices to bringing us to last week and now into where the rubber starts to hit the road here. The traction starts to get real here with these football teams. Drillers kicking off to Garza tonight on the Kern High Network. Kenny Calvin, welcome into the broadcast. What do you expect tonight, my man?
You know, the Drillers have been focused all offseason on redefining themselves. I'm excited to see the momentum continue to roll.
Ball mishandled at the 7-yard line. Look out, Bogan's in trouble, and a flag comes in. Uh-oh. Yeah, might have been a little bit late on the hit. I would think that's about all it could be, Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, and if the player's giving himself up, you don't want to fall on top of him. That's the only thing that could be a penalty there, and that's unfortunate because we had some amazing field position defensively.
Kenny, this Garza team, why don't we just embrace the news from last week? Embroiled in a really tough situation at the end of the game against Central. There was, some unfortunate business went on. And by the way, that was the third quarter. It finished in the third quarter. Just a rough night for them on the scoreboard. And then it just kind of got ugly later on. It made national news, so for us not to broach the subject at least once and at the beginning seems a little irresponsible. But I guess the main thing is, how do they respond is the most obvious journalism 101 question.
Right, and it can go both ways. Either you have a team that's embarrassed and they're ready to tank in the season already, or you have a focused group that can overcome adversity after going through something that devastating that early for Coach Ferris and his staff.
I went down and was looking at them. They look big, they look strong, they look healthy. We'll see, but they're going up against, and this will be your next question coming up to answer after this first play, they're going up against a BHS team with some serious capital M for momentum. 1st and 10. Quarterback under duress right away. Lets one fly. Looks good, though. Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. Harvey Rogers almost got him a one-handed pick. Actually, it was a good recovery because the speedy receiver, the tall receiver, really had a couple legs on him. So I guess that's a good segue into finding out what you think about this BHS team, front, center, sideways, backwards. What do you think about these drillers, your drillers?
I'm so impressed with them top to bottom, but they're being coached by some legends. We'll get into the staff.
Wow. The coaching, you got to be kidding me. It's like a who's who.
Right. I mean, I'm getting my horn tooted today based on my Hall of Fame information, but all the guys I looked up to are down on the field coaching. You got Jason Oliver coaching defensive backs. I wanted to play the position because of J.O.
3rd and 10. Handoff to Lee Williams, and he crawls forward for about 4 yards.
I love the mentality of Garza. They like, hey, we got blew out last week. Let's try to go for the jugular from the start. Great job by the driller defense not being caught off guard. Shotgun double set.
Correction, now should be 3rd and 10. This is a third play from the line of scrimmage, so it should be 3rd and, yeah, something's not right. I think they're going to fix I believe they're going to fix the down marker, the yardage, the scoreboard. It's all wrong.
Right.
It's all wrong. This is their third play from the line of scrimmage, and it looks like a 3rd and 5. There was yellow on the field. They wouldn't throw that just to make some corrections. Oh, so the drillers hungry and looking for it. I talked to Coach Sheehy today. We all did. We had a great time today in the huddle. And it was, inside the huddle. We did it at, right in front of Harvey Auditorium. And more on that in a little bit. But we did get some firsthand knowledge and some more motion. I think this time now it's going to be against the Guardians. Coach Sheehy, cautiously optimistic, Kenny. Doesn't want to get too giddy, but feels like they're starting to get into a decent flow.
Yeah, I mean, and what Coach Sheehy loves most about his guys is their mentality and their character. So if you can get quality guys just to understand and follow directions, you find yourself with a good football team.
2nd and 6. Matthews fires, heads up. Ball deflected out on the flats, and it was intended out there for Amari Bogan, but almost picked off again. So Matthews, aggressive, firing at that D, but be careful.
Yeah, because that's one of the strengths of our team are our athletes on the edge. As I stated, you know, when you're coached by legends, you want to make sure you're playing to that ability, and our defensive backs have played very well. Hopefully they can lock up, as I'm saying so. 3rd and 4.
Matthews looks out to the left, fires one out to the side hair. Can he get there? He cannot. The closing speed of that Driller defense, led by Joe Wheeler.
Oh, Joe Wheeler. Great job inside out, speeding his feet, not getting beat to the sideline, forcing the back inside. Great job by the defense. After giving up that 15-yard penalty, you got to love it.
So now you have Rogers wearing jersey 1, and Harvey stands on his own 27, 28-ish.
Rogers' name has been synonymous with football here. And we got a low snap, guys. And that's about a 4-yard punt.
Takes a decent bounce, but the one hopper was handled by Jeremy Millette, but because of, was handled by Jewel Jones, but because you had Britton Brown right in his face, he had to rush it, couldn't extend on his leg, and it just kind of went up. Short punt, so if you're Coach Farris, now all of a sudden your defense is going on the field to deal with an offense that is spearheaded by the juggernaut of Bryson Abbott, Kenny.
Man, and Bryson Abbott has turned into one of my favorite kids on campus. Always where he's supposed to be. They had some funny nicknames for me in my first week, you know, but to have those laughs with them and see them be serious tonight, I can't wait.
1st and 10. They don't waste any time. They give it to the speedster. He lowers the head, and a helmet comes off on the first play. How apropos for the first big hit of the night. The helmet pops off of Aiden Arredondo, so the Guardian will have to go off the field for a second. And there's a young man that took a hit from Abbott. So you see a guy down and a helmet pop off on the very first carry of Bryson Abbott. That kind of tells a story, doesn't it?
It definitely tells a story, because you don't want to tackle that guy for 3 hours. And that's what I talked to him about. Nobody wants to tackle you high. They're going to be going after your ankles. Be confident in your ability to run through people's face, as Marshawn Lynch would say.
Gives us an opportunity to at least say hi and say hello. And, again, welcome, everybody. I'm Vance Palm. I'm joined by our director and producer, Julian Wilson. Julian, thank you for being here early, getting set up, getting ready. Everything looks good. Everything sounds good, as always. I happen to be watching another simulcast today of an event happening in New York, and I was a little frustrated. A, it didn't come on the whole first match. B, there were some technical issues, and just so spoiled with the work that everybody at the Kern High Network does. Thank you, Julian. And to my left, Kenny Calvin. Kenny, what years were you varsity here?
92, 93, 93, 94. You know, 92, 93, I came up, you know, from a sophomore team and going up to varsity for my junior year, and we were led by Ryan Guyvin. You know,
the principal now at BHS.
The principal, you know, Chris Cervantes, you know, some legends on that team. Best statistical defense in Driller history, that 92-93 team.
2nd and 6. Cavazos fires over here to Harvey Rogers.
Rogers on the reception.
And he picks up the first down.
Bishop and Gardner on the stop for the Guardians.
I believe, yeah, he definitely picked up the first down. They're going to move the chains. So, and then Kenny went up to Bakersfield College, spent 2 phenomenal years there. One of the stats I always like to tell, they didn't get it to him. They brought him back to the 45.
Looks like 3rd and 1. And
in a minute there, I want to get your total wins and loss record
Oh, yeah.
from from BHS, and you went up to BC, those years that you were a driller and a renegade. I'm going to kind of keep waxing eloquence about your achievements tonight, my man. 3rd and 1.
Beautiful memories.
Cavazos, they give it to the money man, but, I was going to say, Buddy couldn't get outside. Flag on the play.
It's a crucial flag, too, right at the point of emphasis. And that looks like it's going to be a hold,
Flag on the play.
making it 3rd and long.
Bogan and Bishop on the stop.
It is a hold. It'll go back.
Holding.
All right, your total wins-loss record in your years at BHS and Bakersfield College.
So at Bakersfield High, our junior year, we went 13-1. We ended up losing in the semis to Clovis West. A lot of questionable calls. We went 13-1.
Okay.
Senior year, we went 14-1. Lost in the championship. You know, definitely frustrating to work that hard and get to the championship and lose, but it built a lot of amazing character.
3rd down.
Freshman year at BC, we went 10-1, number 2 in the nation. Sophomore year, we were 10-1, number 2 in the nation as well.
3rd and 11. Tossed out to the left side. Oh, what a nice catch by Abbott. Abbott, puts a stiff arm on, and off he goes. And a really nice catch and run. And that one stiff arm, that one Marshawn Lynch, Henry stiff arm got him the first down. So in my calculations,
Marquez on the stop for the
47-4, Kenny, 47-4 as a drill and renegade. One of the many reasons and variables is why you were just inducted into the Bakersfield College Athletics Hall of Fame. Man, I just couldn't be more thrilled for you and happy to be and proud to be your buddy.
I'm grateful, VP. I gotta add my JV year. We went 9-1, so go ahead and add those 9-0-1. We tied West. We didn't lose.
Long pass.
Nice.
27-yard line. That's a first down. Drillers. So Bruce Vesey.
Little brother of Carl Jones, the Chicago Bear former driller.
How about that? How about Carl doing things, man?
I was told he's supposed to be here, and I think I see the man down there.
Yeah, I thought I saw him on the field.
I see little bro down there. Got the guns show out. He got the guns out.
He was. I believe he's catching a lot of attention. There he is. Man, I got to get a shot with him. My daughters went to school with Carl. 1st and 10.
Love the effort and execution by the offense.
They stay on the ground with it. A strong cut up. Abbott to the 15-yard line. Late flag.
And that's what frustrates players and coaches is flags that hit the ground after the runner hits the ground. But, you know, usually if it's at the point of contact, it's a good call. You got to love how Abbott sticks his foot in the ground and gets up the field.
Today we had our Inside the Huddle on the campus over here, right in front of the Harvey Auditorium. And before we got rolling on the air, all the players are around there.
A rare defensive hold, VP.
Oh, look at this. Well, I guess if you're trying to keep a lineman off of you because Abbott's going to run over you, you just pull the lineman down and try to get to the running back ahead of time. But now all of a sudden it's 1st and goal from the 8, Kenneth.
And I like it.
Can he do it? Oh, one quick move, 2 quick moves, gets to the 5-yard line.
This has been a penalty fest in this first drive for the drillers.
Wow. So, unfortunately, a lot of yellow early in this deal. Goodness. Speaking with, Bryson this morning, Bryson Abbott, we were getting ready to go on the air to do the show. And basically in the huddle is a comprehensive, all-inclusive 2 times a week show to capture everything on the Kern High Network. And we did it today, and he came over and was talking to me and, hello, Mr. Palm. Hey, how you doing? And he said, man, you got to know one of our guests today is also going to call the game with you tonight. It's Kenny Calvin. I said, oh, man. I said, he's going to be watching you guys very, very closely tonight. Make sure you bring it. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I love the mentality of the team as a whole. They've just been focused. And there's been some minor behavior stuff on campus, but from none of the football team. Got to love it.
6.5. Remaining in the first quarter. Drillers First and goal from the 14. They've got to get in from the 14. A quick look out here, and it's going to be caught by Rogers. Rogers met by 3 Guardians. Not bad.
Nice safe throw out to the flat. Rogers, your most reliable receiver and senior. You love how they're getting them the ball out in space, and that's one of the things I was most impressed with watching the scrimmage last week, or 2 weeks ago when the Drillers took on Frontier. They were airing that thing out.
Well, and Cavazos is a junior. When you have these other tools and these other weapons, you know, that term game manager, it does kind of come into play. If everybody's healthy, all your running backs and receivers are healthy, manage that thing right into the end zone. Manage that thing into a win, right?
Right. Manage that thing right to a championship.
Right. Second and goal from the 7. In motion is Rogers, and another flag. Goodness, I don't think any coach is pleased with this, and most certainly it's not going to be Coach Sheehy. One of his answers today that we talked about in a question built on, I think I asked that. I said, what keeps you up? He asked, what keeps you up at night? When you wake up in the morning, what's on your mind as far as opportunities for growth and improvement? He goes, all the little things, Vance, the little things, just things like that, Kenny.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be Veazey. And Veazey clogged up there, so the Guardians doing a nice job. It's going to be third and goal.
Nice run by Veazey, though. He gets those QB keeper, Iron Horse style, Frank Gifford style runs from the quarterback position. Talk about legendary Drillers and Renegades. Look him up.
So under 5 to go in this first quarter, for as vaunted and as heralded as the Drillers offense and their superstar running back have become so early, the Guardians have kind of slowed things down. We have our first timeout. Once again, welcome everybody. Great to have you with us tonight. I'm Vance Palm with Kenny Calvin and Julian Wilson. You're watching the Kern High Network, a live exclusive coverage element in the Kern High School District that covers not just sports, not just athletics, but arts and entertainment, music, drama. They have the Achieve magazine that has become an award-winning magazine in itself. So a great effort by Stan Green and everyone at the Kern High School District and all of the administrators in this district and the principals and athletic directors and coaches and music directors and everybody that goes into helping the largest high school district in our state and one of the, if not the largest high school district geographically in the United States. It's a big deal, and they do a great job, and we're honored to have you with us tonight. 4:43 remaining in this first quarter. Third and goal from the 8. Grigo's in on the left hip of Cavazos, and Bryson Abbott way back there. In motion, Rogers. They pitch it to Abbott. Abbott looking to use some speed. Nice job by the Guardians. Hey, how about this defense, Kenny?
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Abbott has run out of bounds.
Stretching the offense. You usually say stretching the defense, right? But he's continuing to forcing them to the edge and to the outside. You got to love it. Nice pursuit.
Gardner on the stop for the...
You got to wonder if this is 4-down territory for the Drillers, and it's not as the kickers come out.
Hopkins out to kick.
Field goal attempt.
The junior kicker, it's a long one.
Yeah, and then, that penalty cost you inside the 10.
Sure did. So the Drillers looking for a 35-yarder to get on the scoreboard. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's up, and it's right through the uprights. And that's a beauty. So they get on the board. A couple of miscues, stubbed their own toes a couple of times, but we get a glimpse of the potential and what's out there.
Yeah, and you got to love getting points at the end of every drive. That's really the goal. You're not going to score touchdowns every time. And had we missed the field goal, we still have them on our own end. So it's a battle of field position, of course. You want to score touchdowns, but getting points on your first drive is an amazing thing.
And for Coach Joseph Ferraz, I'm going to go on record as guaranteeing you he's pleased with that defensive effort.
Absolutely. I mean, considering what the Drillers did last week to Edison, and knowing how powerful and explosive the offense is, you have to be happy holding them to 3. But it means nothing if you can't execute on the offensive end, because you're going to end up having to kick the ball right back to this offense that's chomping at the bit. So let's see what Garza can do offensively and if they can move the chains. I haven't seen anything that worries me.
They took a strike downfield in their first series. They stretched it out with Amari Bogan on a long out. It was incomplete. We'll see. Ball taken at the 10-yard line. This is Julian. Another flag on the play. So the officials.
You have one Garza player take out 3 Drillers. I thought it was an amazing block, but it apparently not.
Thus the yellow. That was Julian Aranzazu on the return, but a lot of flags in this first quarter alone. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he took out 3 guys with that clip.
Block below the knees on the Guardians.
Well, if you're going to do it, Kenny, you might as well make it count, right?
Hey, my rest in peace, Uncle Manuel, one of the greatest Drillers and Renegades of all time. He used to teach me how to play in the post, and he would grab my shirt back there and have me posted up. I say, hey, you cheating. Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Manuel would dominate me. He would come in and scrimmage with Dean Jones. Dean would bring all those former Renegades in, him and Donnell Yeoman and Todd Ward. It was a joke, man, a joke. Okay, 3:41. Left in this first. Guardians are going to try to get something going, try to plow it out here and grind it out a little bit.
And I think the Guardians took that early shot because they know they're not going to be able to run the football against this active Driller defense. So they took the shot early. Now they're going back to the ground to try to loosen them up in the secondary. But we got a Renegade going down, and that was a very delayed reaction to go down. Let's see if we can get a number on them.
I know you mean Driller.
Got a man down.
You hear him?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, watch out because
What'd
Mr. BC.
Oh, yeah, did I say Renegade?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a young Driller down. It's a huge day for Renegade land, too, man.
So our director, Julian Wilson, with a Renegade hat and a Renegade polo, is telling us that it's Kern High Network only. All right.
Right,
okay.
I think I peeked to the right and saw the back of his hat.
That's exactly what happened. All right, good to know that Denham Simmons is up, a little banged up on that play, so he'll get over to the sideline, see some treatment really quickly, and he gets a little handshake from none other than Steve Wofford. Steve saying, you all right?
How about Steve Wofford volunteering his time? One of the greatest of all time.
2nd and 5, quick little pass out here, maybe some blocking. Oh, he drops it. He drops it for a second. Bogan had Pedro Vargas out there to hopefully clear the path just for them to pick up a first down because the Guardians need to get a first down.
What I like, though, is had he caught that, there's nowhere to go. Great job by Harvey Rogers forcing that receiver back into the face as he was trying to stock block him. That's an amazing job. Shotgun double set for the Guardians. Driller sending some pressure.
Yeah, they are in trouble. Fires it, has a man. Oh, gosh, what a nice pass. And Bogan missed that. That was a first down and maybe a lot more. He had snuck behind the DBs over there. Had he caught it, it would have been a race to the end zone. But incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, and that's the value of pressure. You know, we talked about the pressure through the A gap. You get that pressure. You don't have to get the sack all the time. You just got to disrupt the route. Amazing job. An amazing call by the defensive staff of the Drillers. 4th and 5. And again, like I said, the Guardians, you don't want to continue to punt to this high-octane Driller offense.
Oh, a perfect bounce into the hands of Rogers. Rogers now flips the script. Look out, Rogers to the 40, and he gets brought down to the 35-yard line. He reversed direction and then did it again. A double reverse of direction and 20 yards of running. And that's how dangerous Harvey Rogers is. Harvey Rogers, one of the seniors. Abbott, one of the seniors. Some bright futures ahead of these young men. Talked to them today on the set about their future, and they're hearing from school. There's no question they're hearing from schools, but I said, you know, Mr. Paul, we have a lot in front of us. I said, yeah, enjoy every minute, every single minute.
Absolutely.
All that stuff will come.
I mean, our JV team is fantastic too. They won 46-6. And I was told we have the best freshman in the state right now in Lomax.
Trouble. He's going to get, no, he gets free. Does he get loose? He picks up some blocks. Oh, my goodness, this could be something, but no, he gets thrown for a big loss. Comes down at the 48-yard line. That's Cavazos. Cavazos.
And the timing of that screen was just all off whack right as we snapped the football. And I talked about this yesterday with Dr. J. Offense, screen game, wide receiver quarterback relation is always the last thing to come together, especially for young football teams.
You're absolutely right. Big loss.
11, second and 21.
Second and 21. The ball is way back at the 47. Yes, it's in Guardians territory, but this thing started at the 36. So a big loss. Under 2 to go here in the first quarter. The quarterback is a junior, Elijah Cavazos, but they snap it right to the speedy Bruce Vesey, and he's gobbled up pretty quickly. So say what you want, the offense for the Guardians not really clicking yet, but this defense has come to play.
Yeah, and we've kind of simplified the offense early based on some of that timing and things that we're trying to work out. Eventually, we got to try to test this back end of the secondary. But right now with 3rd and 21, this is usually screen draw territory or something underneath.
Abbott. Back there with his quarterback, Cavazos. They both stand pretty much right at the 50-yard line. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Cavazos takes the high snap, looks left, throws out to Abbott. A lot of room, but he's got to go a long way to pick up a first down, and a really nice job by the Guardians. Nice tackle there by Johnny Gardner, number 14. He stopped it pretty quickly.
And again, as a fan, you're probably saying, hey, why are we throwing that? It's not going to get to the first down. You're playing a game of field position when you know a team can't move the football very well. So, you know, in this juncture, at the 39-yard line, you might want to try a good punt, coffin corner kick, to see if you can get them to stay down on that end. But it looks like Coach Sheehy has got the guys out there.
Hey, the funnest parts of a chess match are at the beginning, right?
Right.
At the end, you either know you know it's over and you're going to get the win, or you're about to get checkmated. So the early part of the chess match, pretty fun.
Absolutely, and you got to commend Garza coming here to play after a week like they've had.
Into the first quarter, this may send some oohs and ahs around the county because it's only 3-0 right now. Drillers over the Guardians. We're going to take our first break on the Kern 9 Network. We'll be back right after this.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
Start of the second quarter here in the Kern High Network. I'm Vance Palm with Kenny Calvin and Julian Wilson. 3-0. Some people that might have their high hopes would have thought it'd been 21-0 so far, but it's nothing doing. This defense for the Guardians definitely for real. And on a 4th and 14, Kenny Calvin, to your point. No punt. Look out!
And that's what you don't want to do on 4th and 14. Amazing play by Tyler Bishop. You have to have the situational awareness to know to not take a sack. You throw that up to the 5th row. That's just lack of awareness by a quarterback, and I think that timeout may have threw him off.
Well, it certainly gave the coaching staff for the Guardians an opportunity to say, okay, they're not going to punt. Let's dial something up. And they did, and now the Guardians have an opportunity here. Ball at their own 45-yard line, Kenny. So here's a bit of a morale boost right now for the Guardians, and what are you thinking?
I'm thinking they're going to try to sudden change. You usually try to take a shot. Same thing they did at the beginning of the game. You see they're coming out 4 wide. They may try to go play action, suck up that linebacker because we don't have our safeties deeper than 10 yards.
Elijah Maldonado split out to the left, screen play, and this one's designed really well. And it's a really nice play, and about the 38-yard line is where Julian Aranzazu.
On the reception, flag.
Come on.
After the play.
Flag on the play.
Wheeler and Reyes on the stop for the Drillers.
Well, you got the offense walking backwards, so you wonder.
But what flag could that have been at the tackle on the offense?
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Must have got up and said something. And that's why you usually get blown out, because when you finally do something well, you're not used to doing something well, and you get up and say something.
Well, it's tough to take on the chin if you're Coach Fares. You finally got something going here, and we've seen a ton of flags in the first 12 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah, no, officials are doing a pretty good job calling a nice game. It's just some mistakes. And I like our look. Looks like a 3-deep safety.
Still a first down, and it's inside Driller territory. The refs are not going to put up with it, though. A running play, and
gotta wrap
after
up.
Initial hit in the backfield, how about this? Not a bad job for Elijah Maldonado. Keep his feet moving, and it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, you had a missed tackle by, I think that was Batista.
VC and Wheeler on the stop for the Drillers.
Got to wrap up. That could have been a 3-yard loss. It turns into a 6-yard gain.
2nd and 5. Ball's at the Driller 42. The score is 3-0. It is a balmy Friday night here.
Oh,
great
nice
move there by Matthews. Matthews finds a little bit of room and gets out of bounds very quickly. Actually picked up a yard or two, but boy, he was quick. He almost got hammered.
That was Michael Vick-esque, how he spent back around, reverse pivot to get out of there. That was nice. But again, 3rd and 5. We talked about when you're a team like Garza that's fighting an uphill battle, you can't have mistakes. That mistake after the first down set them back.
And it stopped their momentum, Kenny.
Shotgun double set, VP.
Another screen play. It worked the first time. They go back to it. Some good downfield blocking and a really nice job running there. So Lee Williams will pick up the first down there.
And that's an amazing call. Perfectly timed call by Garza as they took advantage of the Drillers sending pressure. 1st and 10 Guardians.
13 yards.
And they called it, he said that he's still in, so the clock will continue. So now all of a sudden, not only are their Guardians getting some yardage, they're moving the ball, they're keeping that offense of the Drillers off the field. First and 10. Hand off to the left side. Nice job there again by Lee Williams. And Williams continues to find seams, and he gets a nice run.
And this is what you want to do if you're Garza. Keep it simple.
2nd and 5.
Run, play action, pass, screen. They're not doing anything exotic, but it's working for them.
And keeping that Driller offense off the field, right?
Absolutely, and they're in no hurry.
You're right. Look, I mean, they're just not even going into the cadence yet. You've got Matthews just taking his time.
Yep, they're rolling right there, though. False start.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes right back to what we just talked about. We're giving them all these kudos, and then false start, illegal procedure. It's not a surprise why some teams aren't playing very well or getting points on the board.
And in my research and calling a couple of my people up north, I'd heard that, look, they picked up some talent. They've got some good people on it, some good players on this team, and they're going to make some noise. And it's named after, a beloved officer, and it's a school that's, has a bright future in front of them. And so, some of the tidbits I was picking up is that, hey, this is going to be a really interesting football game. I can say that it's interesting that it's 3-0, but let's see if Garza can put something going here. And how about this? Smart move there. Really smart move by Coach Ferris. He said, all right, let's go with a hard count.
Got to be more disciplined that if you're the drillers. But, again, you talked about a chess game. We're seeing a nice move from both coaches.
9-11 and counting this last Friday night in August. Last week, Julian and I and Rick Van Horn were looking for our parkas, looking for our sweaters. Now, not the case. Oh, what a nice move by Bogan. Bogan gets knocked out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Kenny, last Friday night, 77 degrees up at Highland High School at Scotland Yard.
I'm jealous.
Tonight, 117.
Amazing hitch route up top by Garza. Horrible angle by Harvey Rogers. And with all this field right here, you expect them to try to do something to the right side.
They've got room, and that's what they do, Kenny. You called it. Roll to the right. Matthews floats back. He has a man wide open. Oh, he is wide open, but it's floated out there.
Yes, it is picked off.
Oh, how about that? And it was picked off by Dale Wells. And we saw the receiver over there waving his hands, throw it to me, but Matthews was running the other way. He was running back against the direction he had to throw, and you've got to really put a Brett Favre on that thing if you wanted to get all the way in the corner. It was a sure touchdown, but he underthrew it. And how about Wells getting back to make the pick?
Shout out to the Wells family. Synonymous with driller football as well. But how about the play by the DB coming off of his guy to get the backside? And that's the thing that we talk about awareness. Things go away, something's coming back. Amazing job by the DB gang.
And with Amari Bogan, he probably should have just at least kept coming a little bit. Just give your quarterback a little more to work with. He was wide open over there, but that's a long, long throw. You've got to throw it across your body. And now there's some confusion on the field for Garza. They did get everybody on very quickly, but almost. And so now, with 8.5 left in the half, possibly Coach Sheehy and his staff.
How about that driller defense, though, finding a way? Sometimes it ain't going to be pretty. You just got to do your job and find a way to keep them out of the end zone, and that's exactly what we saw right there. I mean, and going back to that throw, from the numbers on the right side to the numbers to the opposite side, that's like about a 50-yard or 45-yard throw.
You got to really put some mustard on that to get it over there. Had he done it, it'd have been a touchdown. Instead, we're at the exact 8-minute mark here left in the first half. In motion, Grigo. Abbott putting some fancy footwork together, but, boy, that's a big, stout defensive front up there, and they are really playing well tonight. I mean, the Guardians are going to go in at half, and it's not going to be the defense they're worried about.
I mean, hey, they did their homework. You had 2,000 yards last year. You had 144 last week. We putting everybody in the box and challenging you to beat us in the air. Eventually, we're going to have to try to stretch the field. 3rd and 5 for the drillers.
The clock is, for some reason I thought they might have stopped something, but the clock's still rolling. Just very concerted effort by the drillers to kind of take their time and get out there. And now the clock does stop. That's okay. It gives me an opportunity to thank everybody at Bakersfield High School. What a great opportunity we had today to do In the Huddle on the campus. We appreciate you hosting us tonight. Also, a very special thank you to Stan Green and the Kern High School District Superintendents and our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union. We appreciate everything you do to allow us to put on events like this in our community. Specifically, the BHS administration, to Principal Ryan Guyvet, a driller, true and true. He was a bat boy for the drillers. His parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody was a driller, even so far back to when it was still a name other than Bakersfield High School. The AP of Instruction, Elisa Olenek, another last name synonymous with BHS. How about this? AP of Administration, Ricky Ishida.
He hired me. That's the man.
Our thanks go out to the great athletics director, Tammy Mayoko. What an unbelievable job she did today in preparing us for in the huddle. She brought us milkshakes from DeWars during the show. Activities Director Anna Olson. Anna, see, you're fired up tonight. Look out, trouble, but he's got a man right open here. I just don't know if he can get rid of it in time, and he gets shoved out of bounds. So Cavazos, he did have Bruce Veazey down here wide open, but that would have also been a Herculean effort to get that ball out.
Well, VP, you gave a shout-out to the administration. I got to give a shout-out to my security team because I got an amazing team. We got Steve Perriman, Joe Palacios, Nancy Moscato, Tina Hernandez, Roman Fabian, Carla Petita, Adam Cervantes, Arturo Pineda, Oscar Grana, Valentino Pendeloza, myself, Daryl Ford, Nori Velasquez, Trey, Kieran Mackey, and my man Matt Jones. Who? Matt Jones.
Kenny Calvin surrounding himself with the best. And the Drillers will punt from deep in their own end zone. And
it's a nice punt.
Yeah, it might get a good bounce. And it does. It might get a good bounce. The Driller, wow, he kicked that from the end zone. So
it's a nice Driller bounce all the way to the
65 yards.
A gross putt. Hey, we were just talking about you. Were you standing behind me when I was dropping your name?
We were just bragging on her, and she shows up like
literally
magic.
Just talking about our AD, Tammy, and what she did for us today. Thank you, and take the rest of the weekend off, yeah? Sure.
She does too much. I asked for a runner, and she ran it up here herself.
Oh, my gosh. That's like the athletic director just brought us treats up here and snacks. Hint, hint, future ADs, wherever we're at next week. No, I got to tell you, we were so well taken care of at Highland High School. Last night I called that game at Shafter. I felt like I was walking on a red carpet. I think people really appreciate the effort that we put into to make this happen. And the AD, Tammy herself, just ran snacks up here with cold water. And we have a timeout, so it couldn't be a better time for me to jump in. I wish she would have brought you guys something. That would have been really incredible if she does. Got some games going on tonight, Kenny. We got a lot going on tonight. A lot of games going on. Independence at South. So Paul Gola, who coached here, a state championship team, and then went to Garza, and now he's back coaching in the city and KHSD proper. At South, Falcons at the Rebels. Oh, by the way, we did in our show today, we did predictions.
That was fun.
We did like all these games, the entire Kenny like predicted his score for almost every game was 20-7.
Yep,
that's 20-7. Okay, 20-7, 20-7, 20-7.
Yep.
Like, wait a second, hold on. So, I mean, I would go to the game and he would say 20-7. Then Julian, he predicted a game that was played last night. The Liberty game, he predicted the outcome, and it was last night. Stan said, well, I'll take that any day. So, Independence at South tonight, Kenny.
You know, I picked South to upset Independence based on the excitement that I hear from the community at South High.
Right.
I don't know if I've seen them this excited in a long time.
That's going to be a big one. Highland at Stockdale. We were at Scotland Yard last weekend, and the Highland Scots looked as good as ever, but they're at Stockdale. We'll see what that coach is doing over at Stockdale in his second year.
I picked my Renegade Mackey to upset Highland.
1st and 10. Matthews wants to let it fly, and he does. Boy, he's got a gun.
Amazing defense. That's what I'm talking about.
He's got an arm. He let it fly. It looked good over there. By the way, Matthews is seniors.
The intended receiver and completed pass.
I did see in pregame, in warm-ups, he was overthrowing some of the guys there too. So either he's I'm sure he's pumped up. He's pretty fired up. No huddle offense. They go right to it, try to catch the Drillers off guard, and they quickly throw it out to the side. That's a nice play. A gain of 7 yards. Caught out there by Jewel Jones.
Their screen game has been pretty fantastic. But by design, the Driller DBs are letting them have that. We're going to allow you to have that because that's not going to beat us. Stay deep is the deepest. Keep everything in front of you.
5:20 remaining here in this first half. It's a 3-0 game. Matthews thought about keeping it itself. Look out, he goes down. Smart play because he's got Joe Wheeler, amongst others, right at him. So he had to go down very quickly.
And he's getting up gimpy.
Well, he's
getting the ball.
It was a little, I think he kind of went down. He had to take a quick dive to get out of the way, and he made just a little bit of a tweak. Sometimes it's not even the big hits that get you. And he is going to come off for a second, so we hope Caleb Matthews is okay.
Right, because VP, he actually went down on his own, and sometimes those are the injuries that are most scary.
he saw Wheeler coming and said, you know what, I'm going to take care of the ball here, but it was kind of those weird things. Sometimes you can tweak your back reaching for a plate in the upper cupboard.
Right. But again, how about that driller defense? Just finding a way to get off the field. Amazing pursuit.
4th down. Not a bad punt. Taken in traffic.
Dangerous.
But Bruce Vesey says, you know who I am, Kenny Calvin?
I do. And he's one of my favorite kids on campus, too. You know, I watched him. I mean, we've covered a lot of these players since they were Golden Empire football players.
No doubt.
But to see them come into their own as young men, he's been one of my most impressive receivers in the city.
I don't think all of our viewers really know what move you've made and what transition you've made, because you've referenced it a couple times. I know, but maybe not everybody really knows what you're doing now, Kenny.
Right. I mean, I've retired from my role as an administrator in social services and residential and have joined the Kern High School District, and I'm campus security at the Bakersfield High School, and I would do it for free.
So Kenny Calvin is now a district member. Look out! Look out! Abbott!
Yada! And that's exactly what we need out of him. As he gets to the edge, you don't want to tackle him one-on-one, VP.
Many guys can't. I love our PA announcer here. Hey, hey, hey! And that was almost pay dirt. So picked up 25 yards, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Guardians' 29-yard line. Under 4 to go. If you're head coach Joseph Ferez over at Garza, you want this quarter to race by. You want to get into halftime, only down 3. But Coach Sheehy and his staff are going to try to put something up on this board to make it a 10-point game. Behind center, a direct snap gives them a hair more time to hand it to Abbott. A little more, about another second to go from behind center to hand the ball off.
But I love how he sticks his foot in the ground and gets north and south, VP. That's a mature running back that we're watching. He's a senior now, but he's been doing this since he was a sophomore, making those kind of runs. And he turned that, which should have been a no-gainer, in the 4 yards.
Robinson Arredondo on the stop for the Guardians.
Under 3 to go. 2nd and 7. A running play. They give it to Abbott again. He tries to just jam himself up. Gets clogged up. Now he's through the hole. And that's a big 1st down right there.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. It looks like somebody's getting their juice going.
Yeah, it's starting to happen because he was hit hard at the line of scrimmage, and I almost thought he was wrapped up for a second. Should have known better. Gone.
I mean, that was a great job by the linebacker filling the A-gap. But like we said, the first guy usually never tackles number 2.
14 yards on the carry.
All of a sudden,
10,
the Drillers getting into the neighborhood here. They're at the 22-yard line. And with 2:22 remaining in the half, the Guardians on their heels just a tad here. Now, again, Cavazos behind center. Abbott's about 6 yards behind him, gives him a chance to get his engine going. A quick pitch. Now that's not even Abbott either. That's Wells. Wells, who has done a really, really good job already.
Gets down to the 9-yard line, 13 more yards.
I thought it was Wells, right?
First down,
It is. PA was saying Abbott. That's Wells.
That was an amazing run by Wells. It's easy to get that 21 and that 2 mixed up.
Well, I think our PA man just assumed it would be Abbott.
Yeah,
right?
how he looked, right?
Or just in that situation, that scenario. But he's back in now, Bryson is.
And it's pay dirt time. 1st and 9. 1st and goal, I should say. 1:30 to play in the half.
90 seconds left. Cavazos looks back and tells Millette, and I think it's going to, it'll be a timeout called by Ferez. They haven't seen this combo yet back there, or at least not often tonight with jerseys 2 and 3, Abbott and Millette. So with 1:24, it's 1st and goal from the 9. Kenny, first let's start with the Guardians. What do you think they think is coming?
I mean, they're probably going to play for pass, being this 1st and 9, because the ideal call on 1st and 9 with this little time left will be a 2-way route where you're rolling your quarterback and trying to get him free to make a decision to where he's going to keep it or he's going to throw it. So that's what I'm thinking that Garza is expecting.
That's excellent.
Because I don't know if you want to continue to try to force the run with this little time left. You got to get a touchdown here.
If you're the Drillers, what do you think they're going to do?
If you're the Drillers, with Coach Shee, I know he doesn't want to give them any time left, so I'm thinking we're going to come out and run the football and try to run it in. But I would like to see the touchdown on the first down.
All right, here we go. First and goal. They give it to Abbott. Abbott looks for a hole, and he finds some ground, and, boy, he chewed up 6 yards.
Gets down close to the
How about the offensive line putting in work? That was amazing push up front, and we'll get some of those numbers.
Second and goal.
Read my mind, partner. Read my mind.
Yeah, that was an amazing job inside by Corbin Hagedorn and a few other guys. We'll get some names on those big boys up front. I like to give my big guys love,
Marcus Turk.
Big guys need love, too.
Second and goal. I formation. How about this? Abbott, can he get in? He does. Touchdown, Drillers.
Boom!
I formation, nearly impossible, Kenny. Nearly impossible to stop.
And it's such a lost art. We see so many teams going spread, running the RPO, read zone. This is what I love about our team. We're getting back to old-fashioned football, two backs, simplified offense.
So it took a while, but it looks as though, at least on that drive, that the Drillers starting to get their groove going here. Here's the PAT, Jack Hopkins. Already made a long one, a 35-yarder. The snap, the hold, the kick, it's up and it's good. So it's a 10-0 lead with 43 seconds.
That was an amazing hold.
That's nice hands.
Jack Hopkins, because that looked like it hit the ground and he popped it back up. Those are the little things that go unnoticed that help you win football games. Amazing job, Hopkins.
So a great first half, a really good first half. We're seeing a tough Guardian defense that had the Drillers had to go a long, long ways, Kenny. That was a long, long drive for them to go all the way downfield and punch it in, and well managed with as far as the clock and the timing to only leave the Guardians with less than a minute left here in the first half to try to do anything momentum-wise.
Right, and that's it. And another thing, there's a reason why I'm up here with you in the booth and not down there. Coach Shee, he said, Cal, I love you, little bro, but I ain't throwing it on first down when I got a running back named Bryson Abbott.
And you want Bryson to feel it.
Absolutely.
You want that young man to say, okay, all right, I've touched the end zone, first home game of the year, let's get rolling.
Get rolling. And now only 40 more points to my prediction, and it's coming.
Kenny predicted a 50 tonight, a 50 spot.
And if you're Garza with 43 seconds left, you don't want to get too greedy right here.
Bogan at the 4, 10.
Not bad at all.
It's taken
Bogan to the 25-yard line, and I don't know that we'll see much out of Farris here in his offense.
Guardians have it.
Right, because we talk about this all the time too, VP. You want to try to do something to get back in the game, and all of a sudden you make a mistake and you get blown out by 40 because you're being too aggressive with under 30 seconds, 40 seconds left to play in the half.
Down 10 on the road at BHS. You can live with that.
Yeah, take a knee. That would be the best call.
But then again, we're up here.
But again, and they come out in 4 wide. So, as our DBs, deep is the deepest.
Matthews has Aranzaza in motion. He decides to keep it. Smart play, and that'll be it right there. That'll do it.
Davis Olsen on the stop.
Davis Olsen.
So young man Davis Olsen was with us today on the air. What a nice young man. He saw me tonight in the field, came up to me, said, hello, Mr. Palm. I said, wow. I said, don't let Coach Shee see you talking to me like that before you're supposed to be dialed in.
Right.
That'll do it. 10-0 at the half. A really nice first half. You've enjoyed it. We will step off the mic until the third quarter. This is the Kern High Network. The Drillers up 10 on a balmy, fun, festive last Friday night in August. Back with the third quarter.
Good evening.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong. Grow your possibilities.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit. After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activity, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story
and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs. Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of the FFA organization, and through that we have a chapter officer team. We do monthly chapter meetings because we're trying to get them involved outside of class so they can find something that they're interested in, and they need something that's going to hook them so that they're ready for life after high school.
In animal care, the students learn a variety of things, whether it's tools or terms. In the veterinary field, they learn about the skeletal systems, animal nutrition, the housing, how to properly care for them. They also have the opportunity in the spring to actually go work at a veterinary hospital or at an animal shelter or a grooming salon.
Animal restraint, weight and temperature, pulse, respiration, all of that I learned here.
They take a state certified test, and if they pass, they become a certified vet assistant.
I think we do. Yeah. Ready? Rarely. Well, first of all, welcome back to the Current 9 Network. The score is 10-0. The Drillers up on Garza. Rarely, if ever, do we have halftime interviews. More than anything because we want to showcase whatever the homeschool band is doing and the cheerleaders are doing. But tonight, it's early in the season, so not a full show. But besides any of that, we'd already lined up a very special interview to kind of break the rules a little bit at halftime. We are joined, boy, you got to be careful when you throw that word GOAT around at any level, most certainly when you start talking about Bakersfield High School stats and drillers, but one of the all-time greats, and I'm older than he is. I'm older than everybody, but I still remember watching him as a young man thinking, my gosh, is this guy for real? Unbelievable track athlete, the all-time big-time ball carrier for the BHS Drillers, and his name is Steve Wofford. And last year, I was so fortunate to snag him for a basketball game that I have more hits for like a Tuesday night basketball game on social platform because he was on the air with me. That tells me that the man has a lot of clout. Thanks for being with me tonight. I appreciate it. Steve, your thoughts on the first half?
First half, the Drillers came out. We tried to establish the run and the pass also. Kind of got stagnant on offense. We just got to get back to what we do best, and that's running the football and then, everything off the play action and everything behind that.
Saw you talking about this young Abbott last year, long before we hit 2024. You've had your eyes on him for quite a while. I was talking to him today when we were doing Inside the Huddle. Wanted you there, but you needed to work. I got it, and we were talking to Abbott about it, and I said, Mr. Wofford's saying some nice things about you, and he just was, you could see his eyes just sparkling. What do you think about Bryson?
Bryson is good, man. He's a real leader on the team. He plays with a lot of heart. He's the heart and soul of the team right now. Everything goes through him. So as long as he's right, the team is right, everything runs behind him. We do everything behind him. So looking for big things from him in this second half right here. I think we'll go back to, establishing the run and then, playing off of that. So we'll see what he has in store. I know he's going to get this offense going, just the way they're supposed to be going the rest of the year.
Ryan Guyvet, the principal now. grew up a driller. He was a bat boy. He was a bat boy for the Drillers when he was a little guy. His parents, grandparents, aunt, uncles, everything about him just kind of reeks BHS. When you have a principal with that driller blood in him, all sports are going to benefit, but because of his football background, I talked to him about his relationship with Coach Sheehy. Boy, together those two are going to do something special here, huh?
I think so. I had the great pleasure of playing with him my sophomore year. And I'll just tell you, he was a leader then. I knew right then and there that he was going to be a leader later on in life. He's one of my probably one of my favorite teammates. I speak real highly of him. It's just glad to see him walking around on campus. Him and Sheehy, they're going to be doing something special within the next few years too.
About a month ago, I was glued to my television. I could not get enough of the Paris Olympics. I was dialed into it. I know that when Usain Bolt, whenever he ran, I stopped wherever I was at in the world traveling, and me living in Jamaica so long, I stopped whatever I could to watch Bolt run. I did the same thing this summer. Tell me your thoughts about the Olympics and track and field.
You know me, I'm a track guy, so, I'm glued to the TV whenever any event's running. I woke up at like 4 in the morning whenever the events were live, and, just Noah Lyles, the 100 meters. Then he came back and tried to repeat in the 200 meters, but we didn't get a chance to double in that. But just the overall Olympics, I think it was probably one of the best ones that I've seen since I've been watching, since about '84.
I had to ask you because I wanted to get that from you. Got a few minutes left here. Drillerland, really nothing like it. I'm an Arvin Bear. We have our own nostalgia. We have our own love for our own life that we had out there. You always do at your own high school, but this is a special place here. Today when we were doing our Inside the Huddle, it just got touched on so many times, that topic of being a driller. I had 5 kids at one time that became drillers. So you playing here, you making such a mark here. Tell us very quickly just kind of what it did for you in your life and why BHS has turned you into the man you have become today.
First of all, my dad, everybody in my family went here, so I didn't have any choice but to go to Bakersfield High School. It wasn't even an option of going to another
Sometimes
school.
That's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing. And, just the, competitiveness at this school. You come in, you got to earn everything, especially back in those days. You had people like Kenny Calvin, Larry Parker, Jason Oliver, Chad Provençal. I mean, that's just to name a few of them. You got to live up to it. They're going to hold your feet to the fire and make sure that you live behind the name. So it was just great to be able to come through this school and, be one of the leaders.
We're speaking with one of the all-time greats, one of the pillars, Steve Wofford. Well, before I let you go, my man Kenny Calvin has been inducted into the class
That's what I'm talking
of
about.
2024. He's going into the class of 2024 as a Bakersfield College Renegade. I've got to get some input from you about Kenneth Calvin becoming an all-time Renegade Hall of Famer. Your thoughts?
I couldn't be happier. I couldn't happen to a better person. I hate to say it, but I'm wondering what took so long. But he's a good leader. He's always been a leader. That's someone that I looked up to. He's a year older than me, so he's like a big brother to me, and I'm just happy for him, man. I know he's happy. Work well paid off.
Did we see Carl Jones on the sidelines?
Carl Jones is on the sideline.
Talk to me.
He's once again one of the leaders. I'm glad he came over. He transferred in, from another school, and got to showcase his skills. Went on to play at UCLA. Now he's playing with the Bears. He's going to do some big things, and I'm just happy for him too, especially because he wore number 3. Got to carry on that legacy, but yeah, I'm super happy for him.
Hey. It's either number 23 or 3, right? It's one of those. It's one of those numbers.
One of those, man. But yeah, he's a good guy. I'm glad to see him on the sideline. Especially since he's from Bakersfield.
Steve, I have 15 seconds left. Your coach Sheehy, what'd you tell your drillers right now?
I told them just be patient, man. I mean, everything's going to come to them. I think like I said, they got to just calm down. It's the first home game. Crowd's hyped up. They just got to stay within themselves and just play driller football.
I am thrilled. My week is complete. My month is complete. I was able to get Steve Wofford with me, and we together get to hear Kenny get inducted and an announcement. So, Steve, perfect timing. Everything happens for a reason, my man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
A real pleasure. Always a pleasure to have one of the greatest of all time, Steve Wofford. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it so much. But now, hey, Steve, The big challenge now is going to get that big head over here to put the headphones on. I don't know if we'll put the headphones on that big head of his, but we'll try. We'll take a short break and come back with the start of the third quarter right after this. Thank you, Steve.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities.
Wow. Halftimes can be a lot of things. We can be quiet, stay off the mic, grab a little bite to eat, make some notes, kick back, or they can be fast, chaotic, and crazy. And this one was the latter. And the surrealness of it, to have Steve Wofford on, and in the art of full disclosure, he was supposed to be with us today in the huddle. He got a hold of Stan. He goes, "Hey, look, I'm wrapped up in work. I can't get over there." So he wasn't able to do that. We brought him up here tonight. While he's on the air with us, the announcement was made that Kenny Calvin was just inducted into the BC Hall of Fame, and so he's up there while it's going on. It was just very surreal. So thank you, Steve, for your time. Appreciate it. And just great time and good to have him.
You know, VP, while we got a quick second, I played with some amazing players that made you go, wow. I was a phenomenal player, but playing with guys like Steve, Charles, P-Row, Wolfhawk, and a few other guys, those guys remind you how human you are when you see them play.
Well, I want to be careful when I start talking about the word GOAT, right? Thank you, Julian. I want to be careful with that because there's been some unbelievable running backs, you know, come out of this valley, this city, this school. Rashawn Sheehy, he's right up there amongst the greatest ones. So I want to be real careful with that. In my era, I was watching guys like Marshall Dillard run the football up here. And so Jeff Showers from Arvin High School, maybe one of the fastest runners ever in our county. So I want to be careful of that. But when you start racking up the numbers that Steve had here and what he did on the impact of their record and their statement, and when you hear the name Steve Wofford, people just go, ooh.
Got another driller
Got
down.
a driller down right here as we start off the third quarter. You're watching the Kern High Network, and Coach Sheehy, the man, goes out there. And the training staff from the Drillers also pops out. The Guardians also pop out there. So it's Bryson Abbott that's down. And
he's getting up. Or it looks like he wants to.
So Coach Sheehy taking the helmet for a second. And we have just started the third quarter. It's a 10-0 game but Griffith Field has gone very, very quiet right now because the aforementioned and much discussed and much heralded Bryson Abbott was down for a second. He's back up, and, boy, the applause is going to start coming.
Let's give the young man a hand.
All right, B.
Bryson Abbott.
It's good news. Good news for everybody.
Yeah, he's in some pain, but he's going to be okay. For him to walk off on his own power is definitely a sight to see. He's one of the toughest kids this year.
Yeah, he's not a huge guy. He's not massive, but he's tough, and he's built, but he's low to the ground and maybe favoring that left side just a little bit. 2nd and 8 for the Drillers. The Guardians, tough defense. Cavazos, the QB for the Drillers. Hands the ball off to Wells. Wells, he strikes and gets to the 36-yard line. Wells.
Rosales on the stop.
Well, that's a nice run. Just when you think, all right, the Guardians are thinking, nice, get a breather from that Abbott kid for a second. Boom.
And for Abbott, it looks like it might be ankle, lower leg.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of attention, but it doesn't appear to be anything to make us panic.
That looks something like an illegal shift. Something didn't look right. All right, false start.
Illegal procedure, Drillers.
And that's one of the things that happens when you lose your main guy. A little discombobulation in the offense. We got to stop those minor penalties because, you know, as during the half, me and Dr. J were talking about what do you need to do? Avoid the mistakes that get you behind the chains. First and 15, 10:36 to play in the third. Drillers with a 10-0 lead. 50 front for Garza.
They put it in the hands of Wells. Wells! Oh, he's going to get to the outside. This could be trouble. Wells, and down to the 1-yard line. And if Abbott is the punishing runner, Wells is the dangerous runner.
Yeah, and right now it looks like they're relacing that left shoe of Abbott. So just a little ankle, get him retaped, he'll be back out there. But you go ahead and score right now, you probably don't need him back out there if you get another stop on D.
And Kenny, not lost on any of us here, is Jail Wells.
Oh, yeah. Wells is having a fantastic game. He's probably up to about 45, 50 yards.
At least. The junior now on a 1st and goal. They give it to him. This time the Guardians waiting for him. Don't get anything there, so we're hoping that Bryson Abbott is okay. You know he wants to get back in his game, no doubt about it. Some more games tonight.
Yeah, send us some updates, guys. If you're tuned in and watching, let's get some scores.
Ridgeview at Wasco, both teams looking for their first win. How about Del Oro, a come from behinder last week to get their first win?
Wow, beautiful.
Now,
Man, talk about Bill Carey.
You said it today that you get your first win, and now you're at home. Could be a 2-0 start for Del Oro.
That would be beautiful for the southeast side.
2nd and goal from the 2. Quick pitch out to Wells. Can Wells stretch it out enough? Gets hit hard. Oh, very close. Oh, they're going to say the 1-inch line. Oof, what a big hit.
Great job by the Garza defenders keeping containment, led by Lee Williams, the senior.
A big hit. I see Ryan Guybett down there saying, really? It's that close? He thought he was in. The big guy tries to jam it in. Does he get it? Touchdown! Julian Grego. Drillers.
Gotta love the mentality of the Drillers, not missing a beat. Biggest weapon goes out, and you show them that you have 2 more hungry backs Touchdown drillers.
You're so right, Kenny. Great call. Wells gobbled up the big yards. So Grego gets it in. And now Hopkins will try to do some more damage. And that Daniel Reyes is the young man with the great hands as the holder, Kenny. You were talking about earlier. Reyes did the one hopper that last PAT, so he's got the gloves. That was perfect.
Snap is good. The hold is good. Kick is good.
Right, Hopkins is our kicker.
Right, so we'll take a very short break, just a quick one, catch our breath here, and we'll be back, 17-0, back right after this on the Current 9 Network.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities.
All right, we're back live at Driller Land. Drillers are up 17-0. 8:17 to play in the third quarter. If you're wondering, wow, this seems like a long third quarter. We had an injury break for Abbott. It looks like they're checking out the left foot, but that didn't stop the Driller offense, and this guy is going without the ball.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Amazing coverage by the Drillers.
The luck of the football bounce, or the bad luck of the football bounce as well. That did not take a real friendly bounce for the return man. It was bouncing left, right, center, left, right.
Right, but that's one of the things that drives me and my legendary driller coach, Rick Van Horn, crazy. You're back there for a reason. Catch the football.
We have a special Current 9 Network hello to Paul Dameron. Paul Dameron.
Coach.
One of the original Renegade Radio special consultants, Paul Dameron, watching the game tonight. Said to say hello to Kenny Calvin and congratulate him on being inducted into a Hall of Fame that his father was inducted into 2 years ago, Dwayne Dameron, and probably one of like 19 Hall of Fames that he's in.
Right.
I don't know that there's any left of Dwayne Dameron. Maybe.
And I remember a conversation where people were saying, well, why do assistant coaches need to go to the Hall of Fame? Apparently you never played the sport if you're saying that, because our most important coaches were primarily the assistant coaches.
Or the fact that Dwayne turned down about 15 head coaching jobs while he stayed in Bakersfield. So hello to Paul Dameron. And we got a new quarterback. Is that it?
That should be a safety. He was well into the end zone. Let's see if they give him some forward progress. But I'm going to say that that was a safety. And let's see the hands. That should be a safety.
Bowden Smith is the new quarterback. Bowden Smith. And his welcome into the game is a safety.
Sir! That's what I'm talking about, defense. Of course you're going to get the right call out of my first ever football coach, James Taplin, who's wearing the white hat.
You hear that? You hear that? Hey, our director, Julian Wilson, hears your reference to the white hat, the official. James Taplin jogging down.
I love Coach Tap. You know, Coach Tap, he was my first coach at Bessie Owens Elementary. Shout out to the Bessie Owens babies. He had me playing center. But we used to run center pass, all kind of stuff. I was killing that center.
So you had to let the refs know, hey, I'm hiking it, but I'm also going out. I'm going out for a long bomb. 19-0. We've seen it all. The game started with a field goal, then 2 conventional touchdowns, and now a safety. And the Drillers starting to stamp their name on this one here in week 2 of high school football here in the United States.
Well, we got good news. We got Abbott putting his shoe back on. That's always a great look instead of a cart coming out.
Yeah, but to your point, Kenny, will he go back in?
I mean, and right, like we said, it is up to the defense right now to get a stop. so that we can give him the rest. That was one of the things we love to do, too. I mean, we just had Steve Wofford up here. We was putting 48 up on Cats in the second quarter. That way, our reserves had an opportunity to play a full game in the second half.
19-0, and to put salt on the wound, Guardian has to boot it because of the safety. So now the Drillers get the ball, and they'll be well inside Guardian territory, at least to the 50. And that's a nice take back there by Brenton Brown, a senior. And Brenton Brown gets it to the about 45-yard line. So on this 1st and 10, it'll be inside Guardians territory.
Yeah, I mean, and for the Guardians, they don't look like a horrible football team, right? We haven't seen a whole lot of lollygagging and horrible play out there. They're just not executing, and they're getting like penalties at the inopportune times. You can't do that and expect to win football games. 1st and 10, Drillers. Pistol spread formation against the 50 front.
Cavazos wants to throw over the middle, has his man, and it's caught. Julian Grego, who just scored the touchdown.
Let's see. I think they're mixed up. That was actually number 11 who caught that.
Grego.
So that's Julian Grego. He's our linebacker and tight end. We got to get the booth some binoculars. I got mine.
Aiden Arredondo is down at midfield. Looks like crampage.
About a 35-yard reception for.
And, you know, for Garza, this is my first time covering a Garza game. They had a rough week last week. You hope that with a game like this, they don't start to lose character again, because some of those things can turn out to be a situation that damages teams who are already broken. You know, and you know, I hope that they're able to continue to play with character, because we still got a lot of football left to play. 6:56 left in the third.
Next week, just announced today, first of all, Tuesday we'll have our In the Huddle. Tuesday at 2 o'clock. You like that show?
I love it, man. I'm so proud of you guys. You know, me and Trevor talk a lot. I mean, me and you get to talk every now and then. Trevor will message me every now and then, and we talked about some of his transitions. I just love seeing all the guys that were around when I started my career. Like, imagine how good this makes me feel to walk up to a situation where I'm seeing the guys that helped start me in the business.
And think, man, none of those guys have been fired yet. Wow. Next Tuesday, 2 o'clock, In the Huddle. And then, Kenny, Friday night, the game of the week, a week from tonight, Centennial Golden Hawks. And Coach Richie Sterrett will be at Independence High School with Paul Gola. What a game that'll be. 1st and 10, a toss out here to the near side. And again,
Grego.
It's Grego again. Grego getting a lot of action.
I'm loving Grego's output, because we talked about how we're getting back to traditional football. This is a fullback making catches in the flat. He's getting fullback dives. You don't see teams that even have a fullback on their roster nowadays.
And beautiful play action. The optics on it were great. It wasn't rushed. Cavazos takes his time, makes it look easy, just flips it out there. Nothing frantic, nothing disjointed. Young man's doing a great job back there at QB. Now he's behind center. Wells behind him back there with Grego. They give it to Wells. Wells stopped initially, breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles. He's spinning and rolling, but gets down to the 10-yard line. Boy, he did a lot with nothing there, Kenny.
That was nice. 2 pirouettes at the point of contact. You got to have some wiggle in your jiggle to get that off.
And that's enough for a driller.
I believe
First and goal,
the jiggle does have wiggle. First down.
I mean, in the way the second half is looking, we could pick anybody for player of the game right now. I mean, as we get closer to the fourth quarter, we got to start thinking about it. Offset eye formation for the Drillers.
Right to the middle. A great job by faking out the linebackers that it was going to go on a pitch to Wells, and Grego just jams one up to about the 2-yard line. So now it's starting to look on the scoreboard, and it will soon. what a lot of people might have predicted about this game.
What I like most about it is it's just not a one-man band. You're getting nice, balanced offense, and that's one of the things we've been missing in recent years as we try to develop players. But as you see, players are bought into Coach Sheehy's philosophy, and everybody's just like you laughed about it today when they all stood at attention as soon as he came upstairs. You're seeing that focus on the field as well.
I formation, Kenny. You've got Veazey in front of Wells. They give it to Wells, and Wells finds the end zone. That was an easy touchdown, a little too easy.
Amazing job by the offensive line. I'm falling in love with this offensive line. That's why we're getting the results that we're getting. And now we're halfway to that 50 piece. I think we still got potential to do it, man. Make a couple plays on defense, couple picks to the house.
So when you see the offensive line, you say, "'Cause I can't help falling
in love." VP pulling the pipes out. Y'all don't know how superstar status this man is. He's been a performer all over the world.
I'm only having fun because of you and I up on top of the Dameron deck, the Renegade games. Only Kenny and I could break out with DeBarge, and we had stuff going on up there in Memorial Stadium. 26-0. Drillers look good. The 5-minute mark. We'll stay here because we're definitely going to take a quarter break. Kenny, we look at these leagues, and this league obviously is going to present some challenges, but the one league that a lot of people seem to be talking about is
Jones and Bogan back to receive.
Because right now, tonight, this is the Drillers. They're representing the Valley League. This is the Valley League with BCHS. Ball taken at the 22. Oh, that's a nice move, but big contact. So the Drillers they're in the Valley League with BCHS, Independence, Highland, and Ridgeview.
2-yard return.
We were talking about this. We have been for 2 weeks now. Trevor made a point on In the Huddle about this league this year. Yes, the River League is stacked. Frontier, Liberty, Centennial, powerhouse schools, right? You take a look at this. In this Valley League, you've got BCHS, who was undefeated last year. You've got these Drillers who are starting to show it tonight. Independence under new head coach Paul Gola. One person, male or female, can change an entire program depending on the sport. You've got Coach Gutierrez at Highland. Always tough, always fierce, and they have a new coach out at Ridgeview. This is a really interesting Valley League we're watching unfold this year.
Right. I mean, and you're seeing not many people expected BHS to be out here blanking people. We're going on 7 straight quarters of a shutout through 2 games. That's pretty phenomenal. I don't care who you got on your roster. You're able to shut somebody out for 7 quarters in a row. You're playing some good football.
Defense doing their job. Offense getting a lot of the publicity. That makes for a good squad. Oh! Right through the hands of the receiver. It was intended out there for Jewel Jones. And it went right through his hands, and he bumming out because he was looking to get a first down there. Bolden Smith is the new quarterback. We're in the third quarter. It's all Drillers so far, 26-0. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Kenny Calvin and Julian Wilson. Next week, Centennial at Independence, a week 3 super game. I'll call that a super game. Bolden Smith's in trouble, better get rid of it. He does, a nice pitch and catch, but the Driller defense just all over it. Kenny made an interesting point. We talked a little bit about with Abbott. Does he go back in? Do they need him? Why would he? If you look at it, with just over 4 minutes left of the third quarter, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a running clock situation. I don't mean to sound insensitive about the fact that it could be, but we see it happen quite a bit. Saw it the first 2 Friday nights. I mean, we saw it last week at Highland. I saw it last night at Shafter. So we're 2 for 2 on running clocks. Don't think that's going to be the case tonight. So you're going to have a full fourth quarter of action. What a great opportunity for Coach Sheehy to get a lot of guys on the field.
Right, but, I mean, when you keep punting to guys like this, you're going to end up giving him one to the house. And he's out of here, guys. This is my player of the game so far. Harvey Rogers, one man to beat. Go inside, touchdown, Drillers.
Flag just came down.
Oh, a flag at the 2-yard line. Look, oh my goodness, they called that a block in the back
at the
2-yard line. And I don't know if you can call that. Oh, it was a hold.
Personal foul on the Drillers.
Personal foul.
The PA announcer said, "Oh my!"
Oh, you took away the amazing punt return for a touchdown. I'm trying to figure out what was the call. It looked like he called holding.
The Boo Birds are out. I don't know if they can wave it off now, because then you're going to get Guardian coaches losing their minds. So an awfully tough call to stomach. If you're a Driller fan or a Driller coach, or if you're Rogers and you just taking a punt return 70 yards, you're going into the house. So is what it is.
Ball will be placed at the 11-yard line where the Drillers.
Hey, if the lead guy's out there blocking and he's holding somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to call that, though, inside the 2-yard line, though. But if you see it, you got to call it.
3:44. Julian, I don't know if you noticed Kenny Calvin dropped in player of the game in his play-by-play. I
said so far.
That's talent. That's skill, everybody.
And guess who's back in?
So,
we got number 2.
If nothing else, the glass half full, and the Driller fans are like, well, that call right there stopped it long enough for Bryson Abbott.
Great to see him back out there. Twins left for the Drillers.
They decoy him right now. Cavazos swallowed up at about the 8-yard line.
I'm very impressed with Cavazos' decision making. He hasn't made many mistakes, not forcing things. Great job. 3:30 to play. We got a Guardian down. Big man looked like he just wanted some rest. I wish we had some weight on him, because he wired us all outside.
No name for number 99.
You know you big when you got the 2X or the 5XT hanging down to your thighs. That's a big boy.
You're so right.
3 yards on the quarterback keep. 2nd and 7.
3.5 left here. Grego again.
Oh,
touchdown.
Wow, we might be restructuring our voting. Gregos is balling.
So you look at this team now, and you've got the highly publicized threat in Bryson Abbott. You have the big-time threat in Jale Wells whenever he comes in, and when he touches the ball, all he does is run super, super fast. And then you've got Julian Grego, who's able to just pound it in from 4 or 5 yards out. Look out, Kenny.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the offensive line is putting in work, too. And as we say that, one of the biggest legends in Driller lore, Big Chris Figg, is heading downstairs. They don't even need to be in the booth once you go up 33-0. And I'm sporting my Driller shirt that he gave me under this. You know, I got my Driller Energy shirt that Chris Figg gave me. I'm representing.
I saw Figg just walk by. I thought the same thing you did. Well, the coaching staff's going to go down and hang out in the sideline and kind of get a first bird's eye view down there, because it seems to be in hand at 33-0. You never know, but it seems to be in hand.
MVP, like I said, it's 33-0 with 3:27 left in the third quarter. I'm getting my 50-piece nugget.
Kenny called today.
I'm getting my 50-piece. I'm going to buy 50-piece nuggets from McDonald's when I leave here if they get 50.
Healthiest meal you'll ever have, Kenny. I love the decision.
Or no, we could go out to Just Wing It and get a 50-piece wing from Jerry.
Look, I'm now Julian's health and fitness trainer, so I can't be involved in all that. 33. Oh, how about this? A little pitching wedge taken at the 25-yard line.
27.
Oh.
26-yard line. That's Maladando.
Big hit. That's a big hit. Big hit.
3:21 to play in the third.
Julian had a visitor up here. What was that all about? Accountable for that. 1st and 10.
Nice play inside by Johnson.
Gets to the 31-yard line.
So all drillers tonight.
A gain of 1, 2nd down, 9.
Next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we'll have In the Huddle live from the high school district. Myself, Stan Green, Trevor Horn, and Greg Kerr will join us at 2 o'clock, and we will have on the show with us Paul Gola and Richie Stera. You want to talk about a big-time lineup. Oh, that's a nice-looking play right there. I like it. Caught out there by Jewel Jones, the jet screen.
Their screen game has looked very well. That's been their most successful play. However, the drillers are doing a great job sending 11 hats to the ball, so it's not resulting in much. 6-yard pass play, 3rd and 4.
Now I see Coach Sheehy behind the players, in between the players and the bench, and he's starting to look for some numbers, isn't he? He's want to say, all right, this guy needs
some guys in there.
Right. He's walking the line now. Smith underthrows a one-hopper on a 3rd and 4, and so Coach Farah is going to have to put the punt team in there.
And how about this defense, man?
Yeah,
like
unbelievable.
They showing out for me, man. They did this for me, man. They told me they was gonna do this. They heard all the nice things you were saying about me.
He said, in essence, the defense showed up today for him.
Yeah, they told me earlier.
Hey, Julian, that's a really nice BC hat with the sticker still on it. This guy, I'll tell you what, man.
Ooh, beautiful punt.
What kind of bounce does it take? Oh, and he takes it in heavy traffic. Can he get away? There's 1. There's 2. There's 3 break of a tackle. Now he's looking for some blocks back.
Nice
That's 4.
block.
Big block there.
Amazing
That's 5.
block by BC.
Knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but there are 3 flags on the field.
Man,
3 flags on the field.
In that blindside block used to be my specialty. On the punt return, we had Larry Parker back there. You better blindside block somebody. And now we're trying to protect players and keep them safe, so you got to make sure they're looking. So that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul. But we already had Laundry out there in the beginning, so it wasn't going to be a return for a touchdown anyway, so you might as well smack somebody while you're at it.
1:43 remaining in the fourth quarter. I think we're going to see a host of some drillers get some time, and I think that's appropriate.
Shout out to my man Gio, part of our broadcast team. He's one of our new interns that's under Julian's wing, and he said he's tuned in. We appreciate you, Gio. Can't wait to get to work next week. Gio posts some amazing content for the Renegades. So that 15-yarder is going to march us all the way back to about the 12-yard line, maybe the 11. And again, with 1:43 to play in the third, this is still an early night. A lot of football left to be played.
Ton.
So you got to continue to execute. 1st and 10.
1st and 10, drillers.
Oh, and they go to swing pass, and that's going to be incomplete.
Intended receiver was
They brought Abbott back in, but they haven't used him. They're using him as a decoy. And at this point, you're probably saying to yourself, one more score and you're not going to play anymore. Let's get you some rest.
Little over 90 seconds left.
I mean, but a 90-yarder right here on a bad wheel would be great. And they finally toss it back to him, so let's see what's happening. Nice move inside of Amazing step forward. And did I call this 90-yarder? Did I call this 90-yarder? Did I call this 90-yarder? To the 10. Touchdown, Drillers, and I called it.
Bryson Abbott gone. I guess his ankle's all right.
I'm going to say my little bro's foot is all right, and we calling plays. We got our crystal ball out early.
Offensive line just got off the blocks, did their job, and with Abbott laying on the trainer's table for the better part of 20, 25 minutes, and he can hear the crowd going, he can hear the cheering going. He says, I got to get back in there. He did. And he did not waste. So now you start to put the pieces together on this Driller team. They are stacked.
I cannot believe he just did that. But then again, I can't.
So opportunity for another PAT here. Snap is up. The hold is good. And does it get over? It does.
10 more points for my 50-piece.
And new kicker, don't have the number for jersey 40, apologize, but it's good. We'll stay here since we'll take a break here soon.
Oh my goodness. How about the stiff arm right at about the 21-yard line? What made it so impressive, he was already passing, stiff-armed him backwards. Amazing play. Wow.
These games are archived, and for those of you that are fans of the Drillers and fans of Abbott and his crew,
woo!
There's one for you.
I asked for 203 touchdowns. He's at about 180 in 2 of them. Oh, that was nice. But again, amazing job by that offensive line. It parted like the Red Sea in the A-gap. And when he got to the second level, that linebacker was right there, and I said it. The first guy that gets to him isn't going to tackle him.
Gone. Abbott.
Wow.
Taken at the 20, and that's Jones again. Jones looking for a gap. Jones, nice job there up to the 35-yard line. Nice job.
I'm still blown away by that run, y'all, because when y'all watch that replay and see that stiff arm, that was some Marshawn Lynch-esque on a 90-yard scamper.
You called it.
And we called it. On the bad wheel.
Kenny Calvin.
And that's why they pay us the big bucks. All right, trips open set for Garza. They got to be feeling very low.
Yeah, a little bummed out.
Oh!
On the reception.
That was an amazing hit on the play by number 18.
Drillers.
Who's that, Salvador Johnson?
Yeah, Salvador Johnson.
Reception. 2nd and 4.
Under a minute to go in the third. You were right about the running clock. Screenplay, nice, designed well. Taken by Elijah Maldonado.
Little screenplay. Picks up enough yards.
I'll tell you what I wasn't right about. My player of the game predictions. In the second half, because this dude Abbott got off the training table and said, "Hold my soda."
Yeah, right.
Watch this.
Somebody had their cell phone down there with our game of the week close to his ear, and he says, "Oh, really, Kenny?"
Yeah, I told him I needed something special out of him all week.
He got it.
That boy showed out with that one.
Wow. All right, so we're coming to the end of the third quarter. It's all Drillers tonight, 40-0. We will return with the fourth quarter on the Kern High Network right after this.
For the third quarter, Drillers 40, Guardians driving.
We all come from different backgrounds and practice different traditions, but we belong to one humanity. At Valley Strong Credit Union, we care deeply about the communities where we live and serve. That's why over the past 80 years, we've donated and invested millions of dollars into various partnerships, nonprofits, and businesses in Kern County. And as we continue to grow, we remain rooted here in our community. Valley Strong, grow your possibilities.
All right, we are back in Drillerland, and ladies and gentlemen, it's been some amazing football being played by the Drillers. What I love most is it's been very balanced. You saw the balance after Abbott went out. Wells came in and played very well. Grego has played phenomenally, but none of that happens without the big guys up front. But that last run by Abbott was just a phenomenal play that I'm going to have to rewatch later.
Well, watch it because I was listening to you talk, and then boom. You called it. You said it, and it happened.
Taking it back all the way to the 50, a loss of 4.
Kenny and Julian, could you do 20 back handstands like those cheerleaders backwards?
I used to be a flip-flopping son of a gun back in the day.
No, I'm not talking about your political choices. I'm talking about you able to.
Hey, we used to do the parades, the Christmas parade, and we would flip in the parades.
A timeout taken by the Guardians at 10:58.
Starbucks e-card. Check your class of 25.
But I got to tell you who's the greatest gymnast out of our football players that you know very well. Eddie James.
Oh, wow.
Eddie Jackson was an amazing athlete. This dude could flip-flop back 100 meters. He used to jump off fences and the houses and stuff.
Hey, I was talking to Steve Wolford during the halftime interview, and you couldn't hear, and I talked to him about. He's a track guy. Steve's a legendary track guy, one of the fastest of all time. Right. So we were talking about it. I said, hey, look, man, I get locked into the Olympics when it gets this far side of the field. Next week, BHS at Stockdale. BHS at Stockdale. And if they play like this tonight, Stockdale's going to have a rough night too.
Yeah, I wonder. We haven't got any updates. I'm wondering what's happening.
What in the world? Let me get on the phone here.
Let's see if we could get some updates, man, because there's some big games tonight. And that definitely helps you identify what might possibly happen next week. Because, you go 0-2 on the season, you're not feeling real good about week 3. You go 1-1, you still got some faith. You go 2-0, you feel like you the man.
Yeah, right. Well, Stockdale, they came in tonight 1-0 against Highland. We'll see who wins that. And then all of a sudden, if Stockdale's 2-0, the Drillers go over to 2-0, and Coach Mackey and Coach Sheehy getting after it. That could be fun.
Beautiful.
That could be fun.
2 big-time former Division I college guys. Mackey played at Boise State after his Renegade success with us, where he won 2 conference championships as one of our starting middle linebackers. Rashawn Sheehy is one of the greatest Washington Husky backs of all time. He's the definition of, I'm tired of playing, because he definitely could have played 5 more years when he finished.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him about that. Didn't bring up the NFL today. I was going to ask him about his Chiefs, but we were hustling. We were moving.
Good. We don't want to hear about them Chiefs. Shout out to my man Gio. He said, you called that 90-yarder. You show you're right, Gio. I told you we was good, man. That's why they pay us the big bucks.
So the crampage is real. They brought the golf cart over there with the water, said hop on. So Harvey Rogers. I don't know that it's I think it's Brenton Brown, isn't it?
Yeah, Brenton Brown. Let's see. I got my goggles out.
Well, I don't think it can be. It's Brenton Brown, right?
Well,
our PA guy's great, man. He wants to call whoever he decides it's going to be. That's who it's going to be.
You know, when you're an OG, it's called OG status, man. He's just flexing his OG status.
He just calls out a name. Oh, so
let's get some info.
let me take it. Rogers is okay. So Rogers and Brown are over there. So right. Brown was helping Rogers. Man, we got to back that one up, Kenny. We got to put that in reverse.
Yep. We got Harvey.
So Centennial's down 21-14 versus Moore Park.
Wow.
Independence up 18-6 over South. South just threw an interception in the end zone. Frontier, the Titans up playing Brentwood, down 17-7.
Wow.
Up in the Bay Area.
Wow, we're getting some shockers. All of our predictions were off.
Wells to the left side. A couple of big hits there.
Gotta love how our running backs continue to run through contact. I'm loving the feet fire after contact.
Kenny Del Oro is up 6-0 over Taft. Could they go 2-0?
Talk about making history, VP.
How about this? North tied with Atascadero, 21 up.
Wow.
Coach Levinson looking for his first win.
I picked the Stars today.
Yeah, you did. To the left side. Oh, it's a nice run there by VC.
And he's out of here.
Looking for the end zone.
Adios.
They finally get him at the 11-yard line. Nice hustle. Good tackle down there by Johnny Gardner. Johnny Gardner making a touchdown-saving tackle, and with running clock, it's not a foregone conclusion.
VP, I got to say, I'm loving seeing we got at least 4 guys that have more than 20 yards rushing.
Oh, no doubt. No question. I thought you were going to say we have more than 4 guys with breakaway speed. To that, I would say no question.
Right. But just to see guys getting these kind of results, this is the beauty of getting up early. You can see what your whole team is capable of.
Robert Chavez chiming in. Your partner at BC, 21-14 Highland.
Second and goal.
Is up over Stockdale.
Whoa.
Preston Mendez for Highland, responsible for 9 touchdowns so far this season. 7 total.
That's a good game, 21-14. A lot of people expected Highland to blow Stockdale out.
Not happening.
It's not happening.
Now that Preston Mendez QB, we gave him Athlete of the Week last week. 2nd and 9, under 8. Oh, that's a nice move, a really nice move there. Kalik Austin, or is that VC?
Yeah, it's VC again.
So VC, they snapped it to him directly.
Marquez on the stop for the
VC's been very busy. Kalik Austin, son of Gary Austin, grandson of Fresno State Bulldog legend and Los Angeles Ram Gene Austin.
Fresno State, Julian's ears pricked up because Julian's taking the Fresno State Bulldogs tomorrow over Michigan in the Big House.
That's a tough task.
He must have been given 30 points.
And some alumni booster funds.
To the right side, VC to the right side. Oh, and he's caught and thrown down. That's a nice play. That's a nice tackle.
Amazing tackle.
What a big hit. Was that number 55? Was that Jaden? 56? No, amazing. 55. Jaden Austin. Wow.
You know, we haven't had an opportunity to talk much about Garza because they haven't done much offensively. But we've seen some bright spots out of their defense early. Maybe some things they can capitalize on if they get guys to not give up on the season as they move forward.
Have no name for number 56.
So you're right, Kitty. It was 56. We don't have a name. So a field goal. Hopkins comes in to try to get 3.
All right, Hop.
27-yarder.
is good. The hold is good.
And it's good again.
Kick is good.
So Hopkins makes it 43-0. It's been all drillers the second half. It was 10-0 at the half. 10-0 at the half. So it's been a 33-0 ramble for BHS.
43.
And for the Current 9 Network, it's 3 games in a row running clock. Last week, East went over to Highland. Highland took care of business quickly. They got on the running clock. Last night, Arvin was up at Shafter. I called that game with HQTV in association with the Current 9 Network, and that one was over pretty quickly. Shafter on running clock there to beat Arvin. And tonight, 5 minutes and 22 seconds and counting, and it's 43-0 Drillers, and they won, 44 last week? So
54 to nothing last week.
So it's 97-0 so far for the Drillers.
Boy, I gotta laugh at that just based on the fact that I love seeing defensive football. I would have been satisfied with a 6-0 game. I just love seeing shutouts.
You're getting it.
And 90-yard touchdown runs that we call. That's hitting the ground. And
Look out!
That's going to be recovered.
Definitely hit a Guardian.
That was a live ball. Don't know who's recovered.
It should have been a driller to get it, but great job by the Guardians.
Umpire is there, and it was collected by a Guardian. Good job right there. And it looks like, well, it was Jewel Jones, so one of the running back receivers was back there, so nice job by Jewel.
One thing I haven't got that will make my day is that pick to the house for the 50-piece. We do that, I'm doing 50 push-ups. If we get the pick to the house to go for 50, I'm doing 50 push-ups.
But, man, that got Julian's attention.
Yeah, anything about working out gonna get Dr. J attention.
Free BC gear. Fresno State football, and Kenny saying he'll do 50 push-ups.
Oh! Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Ball popped out.
Yes, sir! Let's go! That away!
On the reception.
Let's go!
And the Drillers appears to have recovered.
That's what I'm talking about, defense. We on our way to another goose egg in my 50-piece nugget.
If they were to score and get the PAT, the prediction from Kenny on the show in the huddle today will be spot on exactly.
Ooh, don't it feel good?
So if somehow the Drillers, if Coach Sheehy were to somehow negotiate a score in running clock, meaning that he actually tried to score, and they get to 50, first of all, we get to 49, then they have to go in and get the PAT. If they get to 50, Julian Wilson, you could use a workout, buddy. You know that? And Kenny Calvin will each do 50 push-ups. Mollett,
the ball carrier.
Man, I'll tell you another guy that's been working out there. Big Victor Sanchez, man.
Yeah, let's talk about some linemen. Let's talk about some linemen.
He's been putting in work, pushing the pile. And that's why you get those 4 and 5 yard runs on first down, because guys are executing in the trenches. Shout out to my big boys.
Gerardo Sanchez, Marcus Turk, Jaden Johnson, Corbin Hagedorn, Braden Pitkinen, Ama J. Johnson, Renee Sanchez, Kevin Ferrer, Victor Sanchez, Wyatt Bassett, and Hector Aguilar. All right, so in a second, Kenny's going to be leaving. Big hit. Kenny's going to be heading down to give the Game of the Week T-shirt, but we haven't decided exactly who it's going to be yet. Julian, start thinking, because you weigh in on this. We take your input on player of the game. Kenny's got to get down there in time to do it. So, Kenny, put your headphones on real quick, because I'm going to take into consideration what you say, but I know you got to get a head start and head down there in a minute here.
Well, beautiful game offensively. Offensive line played phenomenal all all day. If I could just give it to the offensive line, I probably would, based on how well the backs played.
Right.
The fullback, how well he played, how untouched the quarterback has been. However, watching Abbott go down like he did and watching how quiet the stadium got, seeing him sit on that trainer's table, thinking that he wasn't coming back in, and for him to come back in and run a 90-yard touchdown run, I'm going to go ahead and keep that prediction of Abbott as our Kern High Network player of the game.
You're going to have to explain that to some guys down there if that's the call you make. All right, Julian, your thoughts on player of the game, and I'll relay to our audience.
Jordan Moore on the stop on the yard.
Oh, I wish you could have heard that. He says, frankly, Vance, I'm just worried about the 50 push-ups. I don't want to do them. So you're off the hook. I'll tell you what, it's real hard for me not to take a good long look at Wells. I mean, Wells comes in for the injured Abbott for however long it was. He stepped right in there and did a great job. As we see VZ running to the right side. Does VZ get in? He does not. And you've got Grego that got handed the rock a couple of times to make that big move in there as well. It's a very close call for me personally between Wells and Abbott. Who, with 30 seconds left here, Kenny, I mean, pitch me one more time on Abbott over Wells. I'll buy.
No, I mean, the main thing that got me excited about him is the question of, wow, is he really hurt? Is he going to be available next week? What does this do to the drillers if he doesn't come back? And then all of a sudden he gets back up and runs a 90-yard touchdown.
You sold me. The player of the game, and you got to go. Kenny, thank you, buddy. I love you. Great job. Congrats on the Hall of Fame. We'll talk some more. Kenny Calvin is out of here.
I'll be back up top to grab my bag.
All right. So Kenny Calvin's going to head down and award Bryson Abbott with the Kern High Network Player of the Game. He's going to head down for that. Final thoughts on this game will come from me. 43-0, a big win for the BHS Drillers as we see head coach Shasa Ferez and Rashawn Cheehee shaking hands, and the Grizzlies will get back at it. They'll go north and try to put the pieces back together. The Drillers, all the pieces seem to be fitting quite well. A big win for BHS for the Kern High Network Game of the Week. Couple of thoughts for you. Next Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock live, one time only. It happens at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. We're going to be back in the huddle at the Kern High School District. We will recap this big weekend of football. We will take a look at next Friday night's game of the week between Independence and Centennial. We hope to have both of those coaches, Paul Gola and Richie Starrett, there on site with us. And that'll be 2 o'clock live on the Kern High Network. Don't miss that. And then next Friday night, as we mentioned, Centennial at Independence. Paul Gola's first home game with the Falcons, and Richie Starrett and those tough Centennial Golden Hawks heading over there. It's going to be a very interesting night next Friday night. That wraps up our August, and it's been a fun August. We have instilled a new show in the huddle. Inside the huddle, we have covered a bunch of football games already. Next month, we know we're hearing from the volleyball institutions they want in, and we're going to get them on as well. But for the month of August, we say good night. We wish everybody a very happy Labor Day. Hope the long weekend turns out for everybody the way you want it. On behalf of our director, Julian Wilson, and my partner, Kenny Calvin, who's heading down to give out the Player of the Game t-shirt, we wish you the very best.